Hey guys, RC here, back with another pre-completion video for my settlement building in my current go-through of Fallout 4. This time we are at Sunshine Tidings Co-op, and this is a really nice location because it's got a really big build border. It's got a lot of pre-existing buildings, and it's got a lot of farming space for food, so you can certainly take on a lot of settlers at this particular locale. Um, Not sure that it doesn't have a huge building profile, as you know, without using like the weapon glitch, to free up more space. But it's also a central location on this western border. Uh, Granted, it's still in that northwest quadrant. Getting down here is more central, but still, for where we are at this point in the game, getting down to Diamond City, uh, this is a pretty central location for this western path. Also, if we look at the places that I have discovered and set up so far, which reminds me I need to get back with Garvey, but I'm supposed to meet him at the castle and just haven't been able to do that yet because it's way out here. So, we've got a little ways to go to get out there. But let's take a look at what I've done. So again, we've got the central building here. That's got the workbench and everything inside. We've got off to the off to the west there. You can see a couple of buildings. We've got a large shed off to the north here. The outhouse area with the nice little slat toilet in there that came with it, so that's nice. And then you've got on this this eastern perimeter a couple more buildings, and then of course we have the unusable building right here next to the silos. So we've got some planting going on. I've got some mute fruit going on here, some potatoes on this side, corn off to this third pasture. I think I mentioned, or if I may have recorded it in another video, this I'm probably going to eventually make into a dining hall. But when I came the last time, the biggest need was defenses. So right now we have 7 people and 9 beds, 22 food, 12 water. I do have 22 defenses now. At that time we only had 6. We had 3 of these guard stations in different sections of the settlement. So let's take a look. I've beefed them up a little bit, and I've started putting in, and this is something new, I've basically taken some junk walls and some regular walls, and I have fortified this eastern section between 2 buildings with this guard shack as the staple in there to shoot from. I have put a doorway in there to give us access because we don't want to limit to just one location. Plus there's another outhouse out here for another toilet for emergencies. And what I've done is I've put up a piece of scaffolding and put a shotgun turret up there looking out to this eastern side to hopefully handle any attacks from that direction, along with being able to shoot from behind cover here. I have copied this to a small extent off to this southern border between these 2 houses. Now this house I wasn't worried about because again you can't use it unless you come out, really outside the boundary. So here's our access from this side. Another guard post looking out in that direction. I extended the wall a little bit and then angled it in so I could still have access to this house inside the boundaries. The other thing is, putting the wall where I am, I can actually come up here on the stairs and still have some protection from the walls, or, you know, hide behind this wall and aim out in that direction by leaning out like that. If you didn't know about that tip or hint, you can actually aim from cover and basically you lean your head out. So I thought that was kind of a neat little thing. Instead of coming up just to the porch here, angled it around at a little bit of an odd angle. You can see it juts out, but that's to come around the tree and give access into the house. We do have a little support structure under there for the platform, so that's kind of nice. And it does stick out far enough. We could put another board with another turret there if we wanted to. Once I actually start getting attacked here, and I know I can put in, I know I can do my mod that tells me where the attacks come from, but I don't really want to do that. I will figure out where else I need to. Ooh. Were these damaged? Oh, those are carrots. Okay. Ah. I thought those were broken pieces of corn. So probably my next one will come from the corner of the warehouse out to the guard station and then to the shack here, because I do want to say this is a big attack area here. So that will probably be the next location. And I do want to sync that in. So real quick, just if you haven't ever seen it, I'm going to do the pillar glitch. So we're just going to bring this out to a little more flat area, and we'll sync that in directly. And now it's actually flat. Doesn't make him have to step up. Now when I do the walls, I may actually swap this out for an elevated platform as well. Now, I don't believe that I will ever encompass the entire place. I might, but, for right now, I think I'm just going to do, a couple of these sections just to kind of, again, try to funnel any attacks to a certain location. So, if they spawn out here, they either have to go in the door or they're going to have to come all the way around the building, which gives us a little more response time. And, I could actually put a wall in there pretty easy. Why don't we go ahead and do that while we're here. We're going to go into the junk fences. And we'll come into the corner here. Okay. We'll shrink that in just a little bit. We've got a piece of aluminum wall here. And let's come right off of that. And we're right on that build line just about. And I want to make them go farther around. So let's go ahead and, yep. Alright, we'll attach that one there and sink it in just a touch. See if I have a little bit. There we go. I like that one just because it's a little rougher. Now we want to come up maybe like right to the house. But we also want to blend it into, well, that wall right there. Alright, so that gives us this area, and again what I can do is I can put another turret here if I want to. In fact, let's go ahead and do that. We want to get a small corner piece. Alright, I want to come around. Okay, so that looks pretty close. Wasn't jutting through the wall. It is attached. So let's go ahead and do a, oh, not that. Let's get a little support beam here. For whatever reason, this wood one does not go in by itself. I don't know. I may have to redo that. Yep, I'm gonna have to redo that. I may have to use the rug glitch to get it in there, but let's see. Try to get it in close enough to glitch, but give it as far. Dang. There we go. Let's see if I can get that in now. Yeah, right there. There we go. Oh, that went in nice. Alright, so then we can go into our miscellaneous barriers. Go into our rubber tire here. And then I'm going to have to rug glitch in a turret. And let's go with a... Can I do a heavy laser? Yes, I can. Alright, so I'm going to have to come in at an angle this way. Alright, there we go. We'll turn it there. And I want to glitch that in right there. Basically what I'm trying to do is I want it to look like we have the tire there for protection. And even though I can't remove the rim and I don't have a tire without a rim, I want it to look like I've used the tires as support with the legs just sticking through it. Some of the turrets, like the machine guns, have smaller bases that you can actually hide in there pretty good, but I want that to look like we're using the tires. You can always do it right on top, but for this one I want it to be right there. Alright, let's store the post. Alright, now if we put a stairway up there just to look at it. Alright, so there we go. We've got our little laser turret. Now what we have to do is put in some power. And we will probably run alright to there. Alright, we'll put that right alongside the house here. I don't want it floating, so let's fix that. Alright, that gets us up and going with that laser turret on that side. So let's come around and see how that looks. Alright, so I believe this is a spawn point right out in here. So this laser turret will be able to target out here. We also have the wall going all the way around this side. So basically anything that attacks either has to go this way to the doorway, a guard tower, and a turret, or they need to come around this way through this turret into this open area. And this is far away from any of the houses or anything else, so this gives us the longest response time as well. And I want to say there's an attack point up there, but again, we'll worry about that. You know, I'm not going to be doing the entire settlement at one time, but that gets our defense up to 34. We're running 34 food and water, so that really should cut down on any type of attacks on this particular settlement. So thanks for watching, just to kind of get you updated on what we're doing out here at the co-op. I do appreciate you checking it out, and we'll see you next time.